Hey guys, back again, and I'm going to have to do another prize draw because we are now up to £345 of donations. Jesse Irvin has put in some money, so thank you so much, Jesse. That is amazing. So, wow, we're at 172% of the target that we were looking for. I'm just blown away by you guys. So I'm going to do a random draw, and we're going to generate a number. And we got number 37, ticket 37. That is 37. Stephen Bennett. Stephen Bennett, you have won something. So I will pop up in the chat, in the what you call it, the stream. I'll pop up the what you call it, the tiny URL with the prizes in. Still waiting for the video to go live on Facebook though, but I'll pop it into the so I will pop that into the what you call it, what's what I'm looking for, chat. I'll put it into in the chat. I need to take off the prizes because one prize because it's been claimed, so I'll delete that one out because it's been claimed. Oh, I need to delete the Adeptus Titanicus battle group. That shouldn't be in there because that is a grand prize for tomorrow morning. Right, so Stephen Bennett, you have won the 5th giveaway today. We're going to do a few more. We're going to do a few more later on. We'll probably do a bunch of them later on. So I'll send you right. We're still, however, waiting for Pedro and Henry to get in touch about their prizes. So are we on Facebook yet? No. So at well, apparently I can't at Stephen Bennett in the, so I'm going to go into the Edge of Empire group. It might be, he might be from our listeners community, so I'll have a look there. But Stephen Bennett, get in contact. You've got a prize. Just got to find out where you are. I want to be in the group, don't I? Gone into the page. Members. I can't see who it is, but Stephen Bennett, you won a prize. Get in contact. I will hold your prize. I will hold stuff for you. So I'll just get it from Restream, and I'll put the update in. I'm also waiting for Pedro Rascal and Henry to get in contact. hate this. It says I've got to... You won a prize. Get in contact.
Get in contact.
Let's get in contact. Right. Let's crack on. I need a drink.
House of clothes and back down.
So... continue on with the bit I'm hating the most, which is highlighting these white robes. Well, doing the white robes in general is what I'm hating the most. What's wrong, Lindsay?
I think Bonnie's escaped.
What did you say escaped?
This front window looks suspiciously more open than when I left it.
I think the cat might have got out the front window. Sorry, Megan.
I could be wrong.
Well, why don't you go check up upstairs for her?
I'll have a look.
Is that one done? Oh, it's taking some time.
I do not see a Bonnie.
Ah,
I didn't go all the way up. But to be honest, by cold she normally comes if she's all the way up. Let's check out that. Before I go hunting. Bonnie!
any sign of her?
No. I'm gonna go try and find Bonnie. I'll take that one.
I don't know why the window was open.
I opened it this morning because, why did I open it this morning? I can't even remember now.
What is up with this sister? Oh, she needs that front panel washing.
I'll be back.
Okay. Wife's just gone to hunt for the cat. Because the little madam... Oh, Madam likes to get out. I need to change this water. Might go do that in a minute. So, how many we got watching at the minute? Let's have a look at the restream chat.
That wasn't hard.
Oh, where was she?
Under the car. I opened the door, I went, Honey, and she came under and went, meow.
Probably got spooked by the outside. Could I be a pest and request a cup of tea,
You
please?
could be a pest and request a cup of tea.
I think that's Anthony, who's asking Icklant. I think that's Anthony, yeah. How's it going? I hate painting white.
Hey,
I hate painting white,
the outside
but
world.
it's actually not going too bad. I think I can do this. I think I can do this. Because this is the big...
My little bumper.
Because this is the big scary bit. Yep, he says yes, it is Anthony. This is the big annoying bit. But here's the game. So Anthony before won a prize. He is taking the book Mechanicum because he wants his mate to read it.
Got some food, Misty Cat.
I actually got the book as a I'll tell you why I've got it. It's a new copy. It's not like second hand or anything. Well, it's second hand because it's coming from me. I actually got it for... I do work with a company called Asmodee. They are the main board game distributor in the country. Great company to work with, and I demonstrate board games to people at conventions and stores. It's really good. It's one of those things that I'm allowed to do with the issues I have with my health. So, you know, the DWP are all aware, and it's sort of like, you know, it's proper trying to help me to get back to work eventually full time, which is the aim of my life right now, is to get myself into a position where I can go back to work full time. Because I tell you what, although I have time to paint now, which is cool, it's very boring. It's very dull. It's very boring.
Says someone doing a 24-hour painting challenge.
No, I mean in general, not working. Not working is horrible. I worked all my life up until I got ill. All my life. Never had, even when I had, yeah, I'm going to sound like a proper, proper medical case if I tell everything. But basically I had a tiny little intimate cancer. Dealt with, no problem. Not like its long-term effects, easily done, easily treated, and I worked throughout that, apart from the 3 weeks when I had to have an operation.
Misty!
Because I hate the idea of not working. It's, you know, I hate being at work, don't get me wrong, but it feels good to be productive and doing something. That's why I paint a lot, because it is something. Anyway, yeah, so I do this work with Asmodee. They do a lot of work to help me manage it, and the eventual aim is it's going to help me get back to work full time. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so we'd have a Secret Santa amongst the demonstrators, and my Secret Santa hadn't arrived. So I contacted the organisers, and my Secret Santa hasn't arrived. Anyway, so he gets in contact with the person, who then ends up sending me a copy of Mechanicum because it didn't arrive, and it was awesome. And then weeks later, my Secret Santa finally did arrive. I'll get it because I love it. I love it. Ooh. It's a little felt Spock. It's awesome. It's fantastic. Oh yeah, little felt Spock. It's brilliant. I love him. Absolutely love him.
Oh, la la baby.
You can probably hear the wife in the background cooing over the cat. Which cat are you cooing over? Yeah, I love it. I love it when, you know, you put some effort into a Secret Santa. I must admit, when I was at my old job, one of my old jobs, I always used to take joy in getting the most ridiculous Secret Santa present ever. you know, to not take the mick, but to, you know, play on the guy, the person's, you know, a bit of a joke between people. So my favourite was one year I got someone who was like proper, you know, I'd never give up my car for the environment. It's you know, the environments, the environmental stuff is all a load of baloney, and he used to play on that a lot. Big car, big diesel head, or petrol head, whatever the term is. I'm not really a car person. Anyway, I got him the inconvenient truth on TVD. He thought it was hilarious. Used it as a coaster for the entire time. And says he's trying to listen through the Harry books. They're very hit and miss. Mechanicum was the one that took me to convince me on the take to plunge. Yeah, there is. As with, it's a 60-book series. You know, at this point, including Siege of Terror, you know, it's going to be like 60-odd books. I mean, if you include all the novellas and short, well, I suppose most of the shorts are now collected into actual novels. But yeah, there's over 50 books in there. There's bound to be some variation with quality. I like to think most of them are pretty good. I think there's only 3 of them that I of main heresy books, there's about 3 of them that I've felt weren't brilliant. One was Battle for the Abyss, but I think that is a general. It was it's not a great book. It's got. Yeah, first 4, a little bit of a rough patch. Descent of Angels wasn't fantastic. I think that's you know, you were looking for heresy content and you got the background of the First Legion, which I think is cool, but I'm not sure if it should have been in that series. But I liked it. What else was there? Yeah, so Battle for the Abyss was, I think it's the worst heresy book of the lot, and that's just because it's so inconsistent with the rest of the heresy stuff. You know, you've got Grey Hunters and in the Space Wolves, and it hasn't stood up the test of time. There's just so much in it that's very poor, and it's largely it's an interesting story, and it does tie in, but it's not great. It's hard because you do want to enjoy it, because the idea of the story is actually quite good. But I mean, and there's this excellent loyalist world eater who just, you know, just goes on a rampage through the abyss, and it's fantastic. Yeah, Battle for the Abyss is as I said, it's just inconsistent. It doesn't fit with the rest of the stories. But I mean, in theory, the word bearers were at that point basically Chaos Space Marines anyway. So, yeah. Other stories that I didn't particularly like was it Deliverance? No, not Deliverance Lost. It was the one set on the planet with the dinosaurs. Damnation of Pythos. That was it. And I think my biggest problem with that was it just didn't. It was the final story of a set of characters that had been in the heresy. Gulliman Primarch's novel. Yeah, I wasn't counting that, Chris. Gulliman's Primarch. Pythos, yes, Pythos, yeah. Damnation of Pythos. Very poor book. It's just a shame because it should have been. It just didn't really finish. I just finished Nemesis. Oh yeah, Nemesis. I love Nemesis. I think Nemesis gets a harsh. You know, people are harsh on Nemesis. but I actually really like Hammer Nemesis. I like that whole thing, and it's the I mean, what I found the ending, the way that the differences between the Emperor and and Horus was actually really kind of interesting and very almost subversive. But yeah, Nemesis, really good book. And you know what? James Swallow, the author, really cool bloke. I met him at UK Games Expo a few years ago, and I taught him to play Settlers of Catan. And he is a really nice bloke. Really nice bloke. Love meeting him. Yeah, Gulliman's Prime Minister. And the other poor novel is Ruin Storm. And I think it's just because it's... See, I like David Annandale. I actually think he's a really nice guy. And there are some stuff that he's written that is really, really good. I like some of his horror stuff. I like some of his horror stuff. That's fantastic. I like some of his short stories. I actually quite liked his Vulcan novella. But when he does a full novel, it's hard to read because he's got this very short sentence writing structure that I find really hard to follow. And that's not me saying that David Annandale is a bad writer. I don't think he is. I just don't think he's a great novel writer. That's probably me sounding really mean. But I think that the short story and novellas he actually really excels at. He did a heresy one, was it this Christmas or 2 Christmases ago, about a guy stuck on I think it was a black ship as it undergoes a rebellion, and it was like, that was an absolute fantastic story. I love that story. But, you know, and it was sort of like, how is this the same bloke who wrote Damnation of Pythos? But again, I think it's the format. His writing style works well with the shorter story. But, mind you, thank you, Lindsay, for the tea. Mind you, when it comes to the stories, kind of stories that he writes, he is amazing at the really creepy, horrible, warpy stuff. Can't deny that. Okay, Gulliman Primarch's novel. Yeah, again, David Annandale, but I think the problem with the Gulliman's Primarch's novel was because I think it was the first, and it didn't really sell the concept of the Primarch's novels. It sort of looked at Gulliman as a snapshot, and I suppose that was it, but it didn't feel like it was a what's the word I'm looking for? A real actual measurement of his character properly, because he spends half the novel saying, I won't do such and such, and then he goes and does such and such. And it didn't really explain much about that. But it did introduce some interesting characters, who later went on to take up a role in a couple of in Ruinstorm. I think they were good in Ruinstorm because I actually liked the characters. And they were again featured in I can't remember what the story was called, but basically there's a story, it's a novella. It was from the first novella series, where the Primarchs where the Ultramarines were trying to get to Terra, and the Iron Warriors were performing a holding action against them. They were really good in that. Most of the short stories, they've been good for small snapshots. So the weekend so far, the Space Wolf does his Dark Elder. Yeah, I actually like the... Yeah, you're right there. Yes, the rules in it were a bit Mary Sue. You know, a single squad of Space Wolves with like a couple of ships, you know, taking on a whole world invasion of Dark Eldar. It was definitely a bit Mary Sue, but that ending was phenomenal. It made the story. But yeah, actually a lot of the short stories are quite cool, especially the way that some of them have been able to explore stuff that we've not necessarily been able to see in the main stories. My favourite short story is... I'm trying to think who wrote it now. It's a Death Guard story. and it's about a destroyer squad. I'm gonna have to Google that in a bit. I just love it. You know, the absolute suicidal nature. I think they're a Death Guard and they're sort of pursuing some Imperial fists, I think, on an abandoned ship. I'm just trying to think what it was called. Lindsay's still cooing over cats. Don't blame her, they're adorable. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the title. I'm terrible. I used to remember. You know what? You get to Star Wars, I can do Star Trek. I can do that, no problem. But yeah. Of course, as me and Chris will no doubt point out, the short story that I think everyone's seen multiple times is The Lightning Tower. It's actually a really good short story, but it's been repeated. So it's been reproduced so many places that it's kind of crazy. But it does set the tone of the heresy in a great way. It's like a great introductory story. So it's almost hard to take fault with the fact that in almost every time they want to introduce a heresy story in some sort of novella, they go with the Lightning Tower. Although the last few Black Library weekend celebrations, they haven't done that, which is nice. They have started branching out onto heresy novels. Trying to think what other short stories. Oh, hot. There's a really good one with Loreta Sarin on the Conqueror. She's the captain of Angron's flagship, the Conqueror. I'm just trying to think what. It's a rose watered with blood, I think, is the story. That's really good. That is a really good one. Yeah, I'm sure it's a rose watered with blood. It's actually a really, really, really good story. Definitely go on. But I suppose for that one you need to be up on the Loreta Sarin storyline. Well, the World Eaters altogether. But she's badass, man. I love her. She's like the best character in Heresy, no question. There is no other better character than the Loreta Sarin, because those, she basically orders a couple of the World Eaters to not go off the ship, to stay on the ship, to defend it in case of boarders, and obviously they decide to ignore her, go down to the planet they're invading, and kill, maim, burn. And when they return to the ship after the ship's been boarded and lots of the crew have been killed by the boarders, she just walks up to this space marine and shoots him in the face. I mean, he survives obviously because he's a space marine, but it's just like she's that badass. She doesn't care. She just walks up to him and gives him a shoot and shoots him for disobeying her. Absolutely badass. Really badass. Definitely the and a few hours into Sat9, it's not my favourite so far. Dawn comes off pretty interesting. I think the first book of the Siege of Terror has been my favourite so far. Don't spoil it. I haven't read Sat9 yet. I've been having a lot of trouble reading this week. Just tiredness. So by the time I actually settle down to into bed to have a read, I fall asleep. I think I've read about 2 chapters of Ghostmaker. And as soon as I'm finished with Ghostmaker, I'm gonna crack on with Sat9. It's Dan Abnett, so it's bound to be good. But then again, Ghostmaker is good, and That's Dan Abnett, and I'm struggling with that, but I'm only struggling with it because of the tiredness. I'm actually finding the story really good. I know, I'm gonna get thingy it off Chris and Rob. Oh, welcome to 1999 or whatever. I was out the hobby at that time. Gaunt's Ghost kind of passed me over. But I'm looking forward to Sat 9. But yeah, I agree with you about so far of the Siege of Terror novels. I have to agree. The first book is the best. Solar War is just incredible. John French, I mean, that's an incredible book. It's like when they unveiled the writers of the Heresy. It's like there's only so many, but someone's obviously writing multiple. I think at least 2 people will be writing multiples, at least. But it's like obviously that's Guy Halley. He's going to write 4 of them. I'll be like, and I'll be like, right, yeah, yeah. This book was actually a collaboration between John French and Dan Abnett and Graham McNeil, and Guy Halley just wrote the rest. Because I mean, the man's a writing machine. I mean, the number of books he puts out in a year, it's crazy. Mind you, they're all pretty good though. It's not like he's putting out rubbish. He's just obviously a hard worker. Some authors are like that though, aren't they? Some authors are always putting out new stuff because, you know, they want to make money, and they're really good at telling lots of stories. But Guy Halley, I mean, someone ages ago worked out the difference in word rate between Guy Halley and Aaron Dempsey Baldwin in a year, and it was something obscenely weird. It was something like, I think it was like 3 or 4 times the number of words is written by Guy Halley in a year compared to Aaron Dempsey Baldwin. And they're a different level of quality. I like, as I say, I like Guy Halley. I like his work. It's fantastic. But Aaron Dempsey Baldwin's work, so everything I've read of his has been, you know, whole other level of awesome. I'm really looking forward to his next Emperor Spears novel. They were interesting for an Ultramarine successor chapter. I really liked their whole shtick. You know, the whole Celtic Ultramarine successor thing. It was quite interesting. Okay, they're done for now. Now to get onto a second coat for the for the other guys. Why did I want to do white robes? Anthony's chatting here. ADB is definitely worth the wait though. I waited years for the latest Dresden Files book, and that book was just really one apart. Yeah, Aaron Dempsey Baldwin is an incredible writer. Incredible writer.
So you don't have anyone on like live?
No one's live. No one's live. I mean,
people on text chat.
yeah, you want to come in? Yeah, Aaron Dempsey Baldwin. I mean, it was like weird because, you know, I read the first book I read of his was like mind-blowingly good, and then I heard a podcast with him. I think it was, I can't remember whose podcast it was. Might have been Greg Dan, that is, of the Imperial Truth. Again, another great podcast. Definitely give that a show. It can be a bit monotonous, but he actually gives really good analysis and info. And I tell you what, if you want to listen to a show of his that's really good, unless it's me saying the Imperial Truth is really good, because I think the Imperial Truth is a good show, it is an essential listen for me, is Full Stride, because Greg works best when he's got someone to bounce off of, because he's an incredibly insightful guy. Love him, really do. And I know people will think I'm just shilling for me mates, but I do think he's a really nice guy. Anyway, yeah, so he does. I think it was an interview he did with Aaron Dempsey Baldwin years ago, At least I think it was. I'm pretty sure it's Greg. And he was like, oh, well, I worked on this RPG and this RPG, and this is where I got my start. And I was like, wait a minute. There's some of my RPGs from there's some of the favourite fluff I have in RPGs. I was like, oh, okay, actually, yeah. He's amazing writer. Amazing writer. And so is Dan Abnett as well. Alien Isolation is a great game written by Dan Abnett. Funny story about that. I went to Octocon a couple of years ago. That's the Irish National Science Fiction Convention. He was the guest of honour. And that was a lovely convention. Middle of Dublin. Brilliant. Stayed in a hostel. Ate Tesco sandwiches for the whole thing. Lovely. I just wish I'd had more confidence to go to the parties and stuff, because that's where I fall down. I don't really have the confidence to speak to people. And I know Esther was like, oh, you can come speak to me, but I feel like I'm a drain on the few people I do know, if that makes any sense. Anyway, Octocon, brilliant convention. Definitely one of my definitely favorite. Anyway, that again getting fingered. Dempsey Baldwin, not Dempsey Baldwin. Dan Abnett was the guest of honour there. Him and his wife, Nick Vincent, who everyone, they Chris and Graham will say, "Oh, you only said that because you fancy her." I didn't. Well, she is actually not. She's not unattractive, but I'm digging myself a hole here, aren't I? She's not unattractive, but she's not my cup of tea. Plus, she's married and not poly. Anyway, her and Dan were there, and they were doing a whole talk, and and Dan Abnett was talking about Alien Isolation in a thing about writing for video games. And he says what happened was they had that the studio Fox, when they were approving the story, sent the script that he had written to a script doctor. Find conventions very weird. I don't mind. It feels weird. It depends on the type of convention you go into, Anthony. The type of convention I prefer is I don't want to say highbrow. The type of convention I prefer is more of a older fashioned convention where you aren't going and giving a company a ticket and just and then paying more money to get autographs from guests. The kind of convention I like are conventions like EasterCon, Octocon, Worldcon. These are the big national and international science fiction conventions, well, at least in this area of the world. And basically everybody is there. Monocles and smoking jackets. I get it. No, it's not. But basically we are when you join a convention, you become a member of the convention, and it's sort of a very democratic thing. Even guests are members of the convention. They are guests of honours and don't pay their way, but get their way paid for them, but they're guests of honour. And often the day is basically not a case of milling around a big hall, which a lot of the conventions are. You're milling around a big exhibition hall and just you can buy a dozen or so pop vinyls. That's what I find them to be. They're not my cup of tea. But yeah, you go to panels, which are discussions with different people, and obviously there are signings. So like my days at Worldcon last year, which was in Dublin, was filled with going to different panels on different subjects, different areas. Like I did a great one on shipping. And for those, and if you don't know what shipping is, it's a very funny subject, relationshipping, putting pairs of characters together in relationships. It's very, I learned a lot of interesting terms, but yeah, it's fairly good. There's lots of fun one, and there was a great quiz run by a Norwegian romance novel podcast, Romance Plot or Not, where you had to guess out of 4 romance plots which was the fake one. And that was absolutely hilarious. I keep meaning to run it for my friends because it just cracked me up. Anyway, yeah, so Dan Abnett talking about in this panel, he's talking about Alien Isolation, and he's like, yeah, they sent the script to a Hollywood script doctor, And he came back and said, this script is terrible. It doesn't make any sense. It's not going to make a good movie. It's just awful. Bin it. And the studio came back and they were like, no, it's got to be redone. It doesn't work. It's bad. And they actually were so concerned about it, they sent over to the UK a high up executive who came round and sat in with Dan Abner as Dan Abner explained the plot properly, and was sort of like, this is a video game script. This is not a movie script. It doesn't work like a movie script. You're sending it to a movie guy. It doesn't work because this isn't a movie. And the executive got it, and he was like, right, okay, the big bosses aren't going to give the go-ahead unless this script doctor does. He did name the script doctor, but then asked nobody to sort of tailor it on. So I'm not going to say it because obviously that would be breaking confidence, but so he ended up having to rewrite the script for the video game into a standard motion picture script, which got taken back to America, taken to the script doctor, and the script doctor was like, yeah, this will be a perfect movie. And then it was sort of like, well, yeah, that's the point. It was a video game. Yeah. But yeah, lovely guy is Dan Abnett. Lovely guy. Anyway, let's get another coat of white on these ones that need it. Well, Ulfuin grey. Oh, actually, I think she's alright. Oh, her front needs a bit. What I am doing for these robes is I am painting them Ulfuin grey, which is sort of a very off, it's an off-white. And then I am painting them, and then I'm washing it, essentially, with a contrast paint, apothecary white. And the reason for that is I find that apothecary white is really, really good at adding that contrast that you need on robes and white stuff, but without darkening down the material too much. I find it just perfect. It's not my original, it's not my original recipe. I actually got this from from Tooth and Coats man himself, Duncan Rhodes, on his painting academy. I do highly recommend his painting academy. It's almost 8 o'clock. I tell you what, 8 o'clock we're going to do another giveaway. So if you've made a donation, right, tea time, right, have a good tea. I had some chicken, and I'm going to have a chicken omelette later from the Chinese takeaway. Because that is my major comfort food. Because I'm weird. But anyway, Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy, well worth the subscription. And even if you're thinking, yeah, but what if he's not covered the minis that I've painted or want to paint? Don't worry about that. What you need to do is look at all the videos, watch all the videos as they come out, because as they come out, you actually find that there are ways and means of doing stuff that maybe put you off or you never knew about. Like, for example, I have watched videos on weathering powders for years and years and years and wanted to know how to get them right. And I don't know what it is, but I never found a painting video that actually, from any creator, that actually made me go, hey, I think I can do weathering powder. I feel confident enough to do weathering powders now. Never had it. And that's not to say that these guys who are doing these videos, instructional videos on the internet, a lot of them, military modeling guys, are doing a bad job. It's just, it didn't click with me. Different teachers, different people who are teaching, have different ways of educating you. And I think that's important. The more educational videos there are out there, the more chances you've got of finding something that clicks with you. Anyway, Duncan's video on a late German war tank, in the Dunkelgelb scheme, was fantastic, because actually for the first time ever, I actually went, hey, I think I get this. I think I could do weathering powders. And I do feel like I could do weathering powders now. I've just got to... I need to do an order from Forge World at some point, because weathering powders was something I wanted to do on my bolt action army. I say bolt action army, I don't have a bolt action army. Well, I do. I own a bolt action army. Like many things, I own stuff, but I've never flipping put it together and made an army out of it. I've got an early war German army. Me and my mate Chris Costello, from Concert, but lives down in Middlesbrough now. Really nice guy. Just had his first kid, who is a little adorable little terror who likes dog food. Anyway, we said, oh, we're going to go to Bolt Action, it'll be great, but we never got the time to get together and hang out and play Bolt Action. It was just, you know, never great. And he got Soviets and I got Germans, and we're gonna play Eastern Front battles. Although I did join a Bolt Action group and I had to leave pretty quickly because it turned out actually that there's a lot of flipping Nazis in here, literal Nazis, who are playing this game because they get to play with Nazi stuff. And that was kind of uncomfortable. But then my mate Dom Saw, who runs another Bolt Action group, really awesome guy, super guy, put me in his Bolt Action group, and that is a lot nicer. It is a lot nicer than the group that I was in. And you know, thank you very much, Dom, for adding me to that group, because I was about ready to give up on the idea of Bolt Action because I just couldn't deal with flipping supremacists. Get enough of that in Warhammer, but in a game where you've actually got people playing Nazi armies, it's a bit more difficult. Hey, so that white is done. I'm actually going to go change my paint water, so I'm going to be right back. Alright, back. Took a comfort break as well. Should just say toilet break. Have me a cup of tea. Probably kept myself very poorly hydrated today. Okay, alright, they're drying. Let's take a look at the peloton engine. Right, big thing I've got to do on this guy then is the actual guy, so I'm going to leave that for now. Right, let's start with some apothecary white. I'll put the apothecary white. Crack with this stuff is, you've got to really give it a shake. You cannot... Oh, we're going to need... Oh, not there. Maybe share the Twitch link. It will stay the whole time. Facebook seems to change. Yep, I will share a Twitch link in a minute. Give me a second. I'll share the Twitch link. Right, so... Yeah, I think with contrast paints is a bit like washes. If you don't shake them, they will be a bit shiny. If you don't give them a good shake, they dry a bit shiny, which obviously is no good. So yeah, apothecary white over ultramarine grey. I find it gives a nice subtle shade that, you know, Drakenhof nightshade or Nuln Oil or etc. doesn't seem to quite. It's a lot more subtle than that, if that makes any sense. It doesn't stain the white. You know, it gives a slight bluey grey tinge. I know some people still aren't convinced on contrast paints, but I think they are an absolute flipping wonderful tool, and they are a fantastic addition to the toolbox. Marvellous addition to the toolbox. Right. While these are drying, I'm going to head over and do some more work on the Repenter and the Arcove Flagellants. 8 o'clock almost, so I'm going to finish these, putting the apothecary whitewash on these. I'm sure there are people out there who've got better ways of doing white cloth than I have, but I find this to be the easiest way for me. Yeah, I'm going to share the Twitch link. I mean, the Twitch link is in Just Giving, because Just Giving is linked to Twitch is linked to Just Giving. It is hard because you know you don't want to say when you're doing this kind of thing, you don't want to say, okay, if you want to watch this, you've got to sign up for this new service, because it's surprising how many people aren't signed up for Twitch. Not everybody is. I find that weird, but I like it. I like Twitch. It's pretty good. If you're a Warhammer person, you should be signed up for it anyway, because you've got Warhammer TV on there, which is great. Hangout and Hobby, you know, it's really kept me going. You know, we tried a few hobby hangouts during lockdown. We did try a few, and it turned out that people were preferring to go to Hangout and Hobby with Warhammer TV. Nothing wrong with that. Perfect. They're doing it. They're doing it so much better than we did. Anyway, right, it's 8 o'clock. Let's do a raffle. Let's do a raffle draw. So, website and blog. Let's check the fundraising page, see if we've made any more. So I've added any more tickets. Nope, no more tickets sold. That's fine. Random number generator. Here we come. Random number generator. Generate 119. Ticket 119. So I'll close that down. 119 is... Oh, it's rigged. Anthony, you've won something again. That's the second prize in a row you've won. So I'll just post that for you again. But you did buy quite a few tickets, so it's all good. So I'll put it in the thing. You won a sick raffle. What else would you like? Grab the prizes, the prize URL. Got a tiny URL for this. Okay, sorry, so Anthony has won a prize. I'll put it in the restream chat. Cool, Ant. You won a prize on draw 6. And you know what? We're well behind on giving away, so we're going to do another raffle. We're going to do another raffle. We're going to do the 7th at the same time. So we'll randomly generate. If he wins again, it'll be a fix, obviously. 37. Stephen Bennett. Didn't you win the... Okay, so we just had a repeat. Anthony, then Stephen. So that is Anthony and Stephen. You both won a prize. So I'll have to pop these in the chat later. So I've got Stephen Bennett out to try and contact me anyway. So I'll leave that. But yeah, there we go. Stephen Bennett. You've won a prize. Again, thank you for donating, guys. You are amazing. I love you all. I really do love you all. Right, where am I? What I was going to do? Yep, that's what I was going to do. Get the Repentia. And get the Repentia and the Arcoflagellants on and do a bit more with them. So I think we've got the skin for the Arcoflagellants done, so we'll finish off the skin of the Repentia, and I've got one of the Repentia skins done. So what I'm going to do now is concentrate on the skin of the remaining Repentia. Where have I lost? I've lost an Arcoflagellant. Oh, he's fallen over here. Oops. That's right, I know what that is. Oh, I meant to put this guy's skin. So I'm going to have to get that done. Golden flesh. I need to touch their skin there. She was straight Golden flesh over Gracia, straight out of the pot. Let's pop her over here. Right, skin. So, what I need right now is flesh. I need flayed one flesh. Oh, I've got Kislev flesh out already. And she is... Yes, yep, okay. Got what I wanted. Where's the protector? I want a small brush now. There we go. So we'll start with the Kislev flesh. Lady. Pick a model, I'll use it as a challenge to convert into Dark Mechanicum. Oh, okay. A model to convert into Dark Mechanicum. Ooh, he's letting me pick for him. Okay. Dark Mechanicum. Dark Mechanicum. Pick a model to pick to Dark Mechanicum. Anthony, what do you think about a Tomb Banshee? What do you think about converting a Tomb Banshee to something Dark Mechanicum-y? Because I think that would work quite well. If anybody else is on the stream and has any thoughts. Hey.
Just coming in because my iPad's practically out of power. And I'm still budgeting, so I still need it.
Wife's just come in. She's doing her budgeting. So at some point there'll be tears.
No, I'm trying to be grown up about it.
We had a bad month this month.
Oh yeah.
Not tracking anything. Next month, how about we be a bit more frugal?
Yes, we need to be. She says.
Okay. So she is done. She's got her skin tidied up. That was Kislev flesh over. I should actually mark on what people have got, so so I don't give away a second and I know who I'm sending this to. So TBC, because we still haven't got, Henry still hasn't got in contact with us. So Kieran asked for the stationery code. Pedro Pascal has not gotten in contact with us. Yeah, so what do you think about that, Anthony? Tomb Banshee sound good? I think it would make a good Dark Mechanica model. Right. Now for some Played One flesh. I need to get a new pot of this. I've had it since it came out as an edge paint. And you know what? It is showing some it is almost done and showing some signs of age. I know people be like, oh, little paints, you know, they don't age very well. It's probably because I'm not the best person at keeping my paints well. I probably treat them extremely badly. So this particular Apentia was painted, the skin was painted Wraithbone, and then I gave her a coat of a one-to-one mix of contrast medium and Guilliman flesh. That just creates a very light skin tone, and then I've layered on some Flayed One flesh. And the aim is for a very, very, very light skin tone. So you can see the repentia are painted, not painted quite as sickly. Well, they aren't painted sickly, you know. They aren't painted sickly like the arcoflagellants. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the lid on this brush. Is we're going to paint some highlights onto the repentia, who has painted Kislev flesh. And I'm going to paint those highlights in flayed one flesh. I love flayed one flesh. Such a versatile colour. Well, I say versatile. It's a really nice flesh tone. It's not that versatile. It's not as versatile as, say, Carrick Stone. I just find it great. I just find it great for this kind of stuff. Absolutely brilliant skin tone, love it. Right, okay, so her skin is done. And then I'm going to highlight up the next one, which is the one that's been done with the Wraithbone Guilliman Flesh contrast mix and then flayed one flesh. I'm going to paint her, highlight her with Wraithbone. I'll get those knuckles. Lost where I was mixing me paint. But Wraithbone, again. Wraithbone is a really nice colour. Really, really good for certain highlights. It's very, very good paint. It's a little thick at times because it is a base paint and it's a whiter base paint, but it's really good. I like the spray as well. Very, very, very flexible. You alright, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Lots of sighing.
Yeah, that will happen. But I'm alright. Don't worry. I'm okay.
Right, so her skin is done. We're going to check out the other one. Other flagellant. Okay, so she's been painted with Guilliman Flesh over Grey Seer. So what I'm going to do now with her is layer on Cadian Flesh Tone. So in this way I've got 4 very different skin tones. I say very different. You know, 3 are variations on white. But again, different tones of dark skin, black skin, you know, is something I want to get better at. There is a part of me that kind of wants to do a whole Imperial Guard army of Cadians in dark skin of various tones, but I'm a little worried about that, I'll be honest. Because there is a part of me that wonders, I know some people probably think I'm being daft, but the whole Black Lives Matter thing, it does mean a thing, and I think that black people are quite aware that using their culture as our entertainment is a whole other thing, but the kind of idea I had around it was maybe trying to make to to do a ton of black skin in a way to improve my ability of doing dark skin. There's not a lot of guides out there, unfortunately. No, there isn't. There are a few Warhammer TV guides which have done it in various ways. One of the ones I found interesting and quite good was one where I think it was dryad bark and then a purple wash, and that actually gives a very nice result. But it's like, so I think there are probably enough guides out there to do varied skin tones in dark flesh. It's better now than it used to be, because I think, you know, people have recognised, hey, flesh isn't just white, you know, the beige. It's also dark and stuff, and it's just, my problem with it is not that I can't, you know, not that there's guides out there that can help me. It's more that because I have little practice in it, I'm not very good at it. So that's where my thinking of doing an entire Cadian army in black skin came from, as in a way to just do an absolute ton of dark skin and get the different ways of doing it down, so that when it comes to doing dark skin, I'm not going, eek, how can I do this well? I'm like, right, I can do this because I've practiced, I've had thing. Like white skin, I can do in various different shades, different types, because I've had loads of practice with it. It's the same thing, it's just practice makes perfect. And that's why I'd like to do an Imperial Guard army of just black troopers. But obviously avoiding any offensive tropes. Just standard Cadians, no real conversion, they're just normal troopers. Have to think of a, you know, fluff behind their world, because that would actually be interesting. I'd probably try and find and speak to a few. I know a few black Warhammer players, not many. I know a few. I'd probably look and try and talk to them and say, hey, what kind of fluff can you help? Could you, you know, not expect them to help me, but sort of work on some fluff, maybe research some stuff, maybe work on something to say, hey, I want to do maybe think of a complementary colour tone to the armour. Yeah, something that makes the skin stand out. I was thinking almost khaki, you know, Xandri dust, bony fatigues. And I was kind of thinking for a while I might do the same colour I do my Tempesta Scions, which I'll find here. There's my there is my Tempesta Scions, just done in the same kind of scheme as the box art. But I think that will... It's a big planet, just say they're from Delta Sector. Yeah, they could have easily been Cadians, because Cadians come in all sorts of colour tones. So I could just do them the green Cadian armour. It would actually look good, and I've always fancied that, but... yeah. It's finding a way to do stuff like that in a nice way. Just wanted to... Marty sent a donation. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Marty. That's really appreciated. I think it's probably time for me to talk about Willow Foundation again. Willow Foundation, amazing charity. What it does is it arranges special days for seriously ill young adults.
Adults, not addicts.
I said adults, didn't I?
I would like addicts.
Oh, didn't say addicts, adults. Although I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem helping addicts who are seriously ill either, because, you know, they're people as well. Anyway, so the reason I like this charity in particular, why I do some work for them, is because my friend Lee, who sadly died of cancer, was treated to an amazing special day. They took him and his band from school to London, popped them up in a nice hotel, nice meal out, and they spent a day in a professional record studio, proper one, I can't remember which one, it is a reasonably good one, putting down their first, you know, a track properly and everything, because that was Lee's thing, he was a musician, and it was absolutely awesome of them to do that, and they do the same for loads of other young people. Because when it comes to charities like that, there is kind of a thing where people, you know, they give all the money goes to the little kids, and you know the seriously young teenagers, you know, get left out, which is not intentional. Obviously, it's not intentional, but they do get left out. But they give special days to seriously ill adults, aged 16 to 14-year-old days. Really, really amazing charity that do great stuff for amazing people. They do a my friend Lee, as I said, his closest friends. I wasn't his closest friend. He was very close to me, but obviously I lived away. And near the end of his life, lived in Newcastle, and his friends, family, including my family as well, organise a music festival called Lee Stock, which is held in Melford Hall, just outside of Sudbury in Suffolk, every year. It's a fantastic festival. It's amazing. It's about, you know, it's a great music festival. It's had some amazing lineups in the air. I've never actually managed to go, and I'm really I need to do that. So, I mean, who did they have for this year had it not been cancelled thanks to silly coronavirus? They would have had Ash, Electro 6, Stereo MCs, Scouting for Girls, Top Loader, Space. I mean, there's some great. I mean, yeah, they're a bit retro, but that's kind of the point. It's the bands that he loved when he was a kid. It was the bands that really do stuff, and it's a really great music festival, and it does a massive amount of money, fundraising for this great charity. So yeah, Lee was amazing young man. Amazing young man. Loved him. Always had a smile on his face. Absolutely. You never see him without a smile on his face. Except there's a photo of him on the Lee Stock website in which he's looking all moody. And it's like, that's a really rare sight to see. So, Chris has just sent me a message. He's been searching for castles to hold Company of Legends in. Of course he has. Marty, anyway, I'm going to add you to the raffle list. We're going to run another raffle at 9 o'clock. I'll order me tea then as well. So we're up to 315 tickets. Thank you, Marty. Every little penny helps. Every little penny helps, and I'm just so proud of you guys for helping me in this. I mean, I'm a rubbish painter. Nobody say otherwise. I'm an okay-ish tabletop.
Rubbish. Do you want to see your rubbish?
I'm an okay-ish tabletop standard painter. Nothing more, nothing less. Anyway, right. I'm gonna go back to these sisters now. I'll take the Arcoflag. I never worked on the Arcoflagellants. I just did the skin of the Oh, he looks distinctively unhealthy, doesn't he? Kind of what I was going for. Canoness back onto hers. Painting handles. These are fantastic. I have hand problems, so these painting handles are actually kind of amazing for that. I know there are some people who take the mick out of them. Oh, they're just butt plugs. I happen to think they are probably my most favourite hobby aid that Games Workshop have ever made. And they've made some decent hobby aids down the air. I know people will take the mick out of the paint stick. But again, I never was able to get on with blue tack or double-sided tape on a bit of wood. Never was able to get away with it. It never really worked for me. But the paint stick was brilliant. Yep, Marty, thank you. Thank you for your donation. It's brilliant. So what I'm doing now is I'm just tidying up the cloth with some Ulfuan grey. So I want to have it looking reasonably smooth, because the apothecary white does leave it a little bit, you know, it does leave a little bit of staining on there, as it were. But I just want to keep that in the deepest recesses. But I like this scheme. Although I tell you what, if you give it to someone who can actually paint properly, and I mean, like, you know, like who am I thinking of here? Like Painted by G, or Cutthroat Cure, or even good old Harry Welsh. I bet they would make this particular method look fantastic, whereas I may basically, it's Harriet. But I am sold on the idea of using apothecary white to wash white. Absolutely sold on it. I've always had problems with white, you know, getting that right tone in there, because I've always found, you know, you either end up way too dark and it's really stark and very jarring, or barely noticeable. Now this is more on the side of barely noticeable, but it's just noticeable enough, if that makes any sense. It's not so far on the side of you may as well not be there. We are 10 hours in. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just let that dry for a little bit, and I'm going to crack on with them. I was going to do the helmet, this little visor white, but I've done it white on one of them and I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go, I'm going to go gold. That's my iron hand steel. I'm going to go gold on them. I don't know if it's canon, but I don't care. I'm going to go gold. I think it'll look good.
It does not care.
Hey, Avijamra, Endrid Ha has said hello. Hello, Endrid Ha. You're not another one of Graham's stock puppets, are you?
What? I'm sorry, what?
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 You're not familiar with the term sock puppet account?
I thought you said something very different.
What did you think I said?
I don't know if I want to repeat it.
What did the words you think I said began with?
F.
Oh, right, okay. No. You have a dirty mind.
I probably do.
You definitely do.
All I'm going to say is you married me.
I did marry her. I don't regret it. She is awesome. Right, so we'll let them dry for a minute. So what I'm gonna do...
I brought you KFC home.
She did. She brought me KFC home. By the way, if you are able to go to KFC this weekend, they are doing 10 mini chicken fillets for a fiver. $4.99. Amazing deal. But then again,
And I'm going to make you breakfast in the morning.
I'm just gonna make me breakfast in the morning.
For you finishing.
For me finishing.
At 10 o'clock when you finish this stream,
I'm
eating stuff,
gonna have a sausage and a sausage baguette.
you're going to have a sausage baguette. Yeah, you are. And I am going to take you, if you're very nice to me, to Battle Bunker next weekend
Yep.
for midnight.
To pick up Indomitus.
Rather than sleeping like a sane person.
It is for Graham as well.
rather than sleeping like a sane person.
It is for Graham as well.
Rather than sleeping like a sane person.
She normally, if I'd say it's for Graham as well, she'd be like, oh yeah. You know, she said on many an occasion, and I don't know if Graham's listening right now. I'll have to repeat it when he's back on and embarrass Lindsay. But
you think you're going to embarrass me? Seriously?
Yes, I will embarrass you. I will absolutely embarrass you.
You're assuming
Stephen
that
says,
I'm
"Hi friends, good going, keep it up." Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. It's a slog. I'm working on a bonus model as well because I'm just
Megan
waiting
would
for
like
something.
to join the stream.
Megan can join the stream. She gives tell her to give me 2 moments, and then to tell her to call in.
Says give him 2 moments. And
Oh no, she's calling in anyway. She's calling in first. So I've got to put on my headphones.
Mogwai would like to talk.
Magic_Mogwai would like to talk.
It's magic_.
Here we go. Megan's coming in. So I'll see if we got this on Skype. Hello. Stream starting screen. There we go. We are back. Some reason every time I switch it over to Skype, it switches on to the starting soon scene. So I might have to go in Stream Deck and fix that. How long have we been streaming for now? I'm trying to keep each stream about no longer than 3 hours, so that it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Get a restart every 3 hours. Although it does mean that it's confusing Facebook, and it keeps jumping up a new link to each video. How are you, Megan?
Okay.
What did you have for your tea?
We had chili con carne.
Oh, lovely. Did you make it?
Made by my dad.
Oh, made by
My
your
dad
dad.
made it.
Oh, your dad makes a nice chili con carne, but he doesn't
Yeah,
put he doesn't put kidney beans in it. That's weird.
Oh, he does.
Oh, I thought he didn't. Didn't last time.
I don't have any.
Luckily, the temperature is quite nice at the minute, so I could. It's hot, but it's not like so hot in the evenings, because I'm really bad with spice in the evenings. If it's really hot, I just cannot eat it. Just cannot eat it at all. And you know what? It's really annoying because it's probably part of the autism, you know, Megan.
Possibly.
Yeah, I sound like a medical tech casebook, you know. A little bit of cancer, a little bit of autism thrown in. Then we're going to throw in a head injury. Thanks, Johnny. I joke. That was a complete accident. Didn't mean to do that. I know he didn't. Sorry. I was being mean there.
Right. Wait, you were trying to embarrass me.
Yes, I was trying to embarrass Lindsay. Because Lindsay was saying, oh, if you're really nice to me, I'll take you to pick up Indomitus next weekend. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be nice. And then pointing out that also it's for Graham. And I was going to embarrass her by pointing out that she said, of all the Edge of Empire guys, the best looking one is apparently Graham.
And I'm still trying to work out how that's embarrassing.
She's trying to work out how that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because, yeah, you like Graham.
And? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Graham is a nice guy.
He's a cutie.
There you go, Graham. You're a cutie. You know, the best looking Edge of Empire guy is not her husband. It's not her husband.
Not her husband. To be fair, I was seeing of the Mills brothers. If I had to pick one, it would be Graham.
Have you met Dave? Oh, Megan's a bit breaky uppy there.
Yes, I've met Dave. He's been at the Legends a couple of times. I'm sure there's a picture where we're all in the same fucking photograph.
Oh, I think there is, yeah.
So yes.
So,
I've
what are you
met
building,
Dave.
Megan?
I am building 2 land speeders.
Ah, it's an interesting kit. Keep your pilots separate. Don't glue them in. Don't glue them in. So, what are you giving them? What are you doing for them weapons wise?
I haven't got that far. I don't know.
I would highly recommend you to give one of them an assault cannon and a heavy bolter.
Okay.
And the other one, the missile launchers, the Typhon missile launchers. So don't put on the doors on that one on the side. You'll want the missile launchers because they go on.
It's the same amount of different missile launcher.
Yeah. They go on set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they go on the side.
And add a multi-melter to that. So that makes it an anti-vehicle hunting one. And then your other one with a heavy bolter and the assault cannon will be an infantry hunter.
So not bother with a heavy flamer.
No, I wouldn't.
But flamers are fun.
Well, I suppose you could put it on the assault cannon one. No, you don't have a heavy flamer on there. Oh, you do have a heavy flamer, but yeah. But the assault cannon is more handy.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah, you've got an underscope mounted heavy flamer. If you had a third one, I'd go heavy flamer.
Yeah.
But
well, for the future.
For the future, get a third one. Get a third one. I think I've got 3 land speeders for my Blood Ravens. So you've got the conquest thing. Would 40k land speeders work as 30k Imperial Army land speeders, and what weapon loadout would you go for? Yes, they do work as 30k. You've just got to do a bit of work on the crew to make them fit the aesthetic. And obviously weapons, you need to source some weapons because they don't come with necessarily a 30k loadout apart from the heavy bolter or the multi-melter. So personally, it depends what job you want it to do for 30k. I find with land speeders and things like that, you need to give them a job and have it be good at that job. So,
well, you don't want anything that's too just generic.
See, for
it's not going to be good at
yeah,
specific targeted area.
see, for anti-infantry, I would go Volkite and a heavy bolter. For anti-tank, Graviton, because Graviton is awesome. Probably a multi-melter. Graviton or multi-melter for tanks. But they've got loads of different things. You have plasma cannons. You've got lots of options in the land speed. I think the land speed is actually a really versatile unit. It's just a shame that the kit is so expensive. But yeah, but 40k land speeders will work. Just change the torso and helmet of the rider and shove in the thing. The feet will look a bit... The legs, you hardly notice them. But loads of people... I mean, that's what we did before we had the Proteus pattern. Right, where am I? Oh, burping. Doing my white robes. So I sent you down, Megan, 2 land speeders and a bunch of characters for... I should have sent you down a placky bag to put the backpacks in.
A bunch of space matins.
Sorry?
Space matins. That's what your text message said.
Did it?
Yes, it really confused me.
Sorry. Space means...
What did I actually say? You sent me a text message that read Space Matins, Institutions 17.
I'm needing anti-tank, so I'll go for Grav multi-melted. Cheers. Yeah, I've done 3 of my white scars. Just need to screw torso, heads and arms. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you can get... If you're after arms, there's always the pintle-mounted set of weapons from Forge World. They still do them. I'm sure they do. Plus, that's got a multi-melter on it, but you can always use the multi-melter that comes in the kit. You've just got to sort out a Graviton gun, which is a little bit more difficult these days because the separate Graviton guns aren't for sale, but I'm sure you can work something out. And there are always third-party bit sellers out there that do stuff. Or just mod up a grav cannon from 40k. But don't take me at my word for tactical advice because I am awful at the game. I'm absolutely awful.
You really are.
Thank you, Megan. Ninth will be my game. Ninth will be my game for 40k. Ninth will be my 40k game.
I forgot my glue. Should I?
Okay. It's your turn.
Glue is handy.
Glue is very handy. Right. So how are you enjoying The Mandalorian? Lindsay can't hear us, so...
It is really enjoyable. Yeah.
What episode are you up to now?
Episodes. I think we finished episode 4.
So what happened in that episode?
Well, I'm not going to spoil it for everybody else on stream.
I think most people have seen it by now, apart from Lindsay.
Still, spoilers.
What kind of planet were they on?
A really remote one. With, 80,
Oh, yeah.
ATS.
That's a great episode.
Yes, it really was a really good episode.
Yes, it's a really good episode. And oh, the supporting character. What's her name? The UFC girl, or was she a wrestler?
Was she a wrestler?
Wrestler or UFC, something like that.
No, she was pretty good.
Very very
Really
kick-ass.
good character.
Yeah. She turns up again later. Don't worry.
Good.
And oh,
I'd like to hear more of the story.
yeah. She is great. She is a great character. But yeah, it's really well written. You've got some real classics to come yet. But do you get the Firefly vibe from it?
Yes, very much so. The unsteady cameras and the music choice. The kind of backwater planets.
Yeah, the out on the fringe kind of thing. Yeah.
Dirtiness. Scraping by, that type of thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the way I described it is if it's Star Wars does Firefly,
Yeah.
but not in a blatant rip-off way, in an original good way. It's fantastic. It's great to be a sci-fi fan right now. We've got Star Trek coming back. We've got Star Wars TV series. I tell you what, though, the only thing that disappoints me about Disney Plus is they've missed off some classic Star Wars that I really.
Nobody wants to see the Christmas special.
I'm not talking about the Christmas special. I'm talking about the Ewok TV movies. The Ewok TV movies and the Ewok cartoon. And what about Droids? That was a cartoon. Yeah, okay. Stephen Bonner says, prefers fluffy loadouts anyway, just need the 120 Grenadier Outrider bikes. Yep. Sounds awesome to me. Motorbike Army, always good. I did try that in 40k with the Raven Wing, but I just didn't... I hated painting black.
Painting black is the pain of my life. Well, not so much painting black, but highlighting black.
Yep, it's a pain in the bum. Next black model I intend to paint is Gazkul Fraka. That character is one of the ones that, you know, where you get people pointing out, oh, you don't want to be political in this hobby. You don't want to bring politics in there, you know, when you're talking about, you know, let's be inclusive and include everybody in our hobby. And they're all like, I don't want trans people in the hobby. It's bad. It's wrong. You're bringing politics in there, you know. And it's like I just point them to Gazkul Mag Uruk Fraka, and it's like, look at his name. He is the beast. He is called Gazkul Mag Uruk Fraka. Margaret Thatcher. He's named after Margaret Thatcher. Sometimes I have to put that into blunt terms, you know. The game was designed by people who were political and making a political statement. So if you don't want politics in your game, you're in the wrong game. Sorry, ranting.
You are ranting.
I am ranting. I am ranting. If you don't want politics in your game, you're shit out of luck, because this is a game that has always had and always will involve a little bit of politics. So I'm just going to paint their gauntlets now, because they wear leather gauntlets on these sisters. And I forgot to do them earlier. And then what I might do is paint their pouches and pistol holsters. I'm going to do that in a different leather, a lighter leather. I can hear sheep in the background. Is that your dad watching? What's your dad watching?
I have a program with the sheep on it.
Yep. How is your dad anyway?
It's as grumpy as ever.
Has he stopped from going mental yet?
No.
No. Ah, I've missed a bunch of white sleeves on here. I'll have to fix that. But luckily it's on an individual character model, so... I'll put her aside because she's going to need more white stuff done on her. Anyway, Steve and I prefer fluffier loadouts too. Although, if you do listen to my list challenges, you might disagree with that, but... because apparently I come up with the most horrendous lists.
You don't play lists like that. You just come up with them on the list challenges.
Yeah. Ooh, it's getting louder.
Michael, can you ask Megan if all the Kickstarters we've backed...
The music on the TV is getting a lot louder, Megan.
Yeah.
Is it? I'm assuming it's just in a ramping up kind of thing, and it'll pass in a minute.
Yeah. Do you want me to ask them to turn it down?
No. I'm not going to disturb your dad. Man's retired, and he's been sheltered. He's been shielding for months. I'm not gonna tell him to turn it down because I'm doing stuff. You know what I mean? He gets few pleasures in life at his age.
God, you make him sound ancient.
What are you laughing at?
You!
What are you laughing at me about?
Making Jeff sound ancient.
I'm not. I'm just saying, you know.
He gets through pleasures at his age. Yeah, you make them sound ancient.
I'm getting told off for making Jeff sound ancient. He's not ancient. He's early. He's 65, 66, maybe 67. How old is he?
67 next month.
67 next month. No, he's not ancient. It's more the fact that I think I probably phrased it wrong, but it's more the fact that he's had to shield for the past few months.
Can I ask you a really boring money question?
Yes, you can ask me a really boring money question, Lindsay. Would you like me to mute my microphone?
No, people can... I don't know, it's up to you. It's Kickstarter related.
Okay, I tell you, okay, Kickstarter related. That doesn't sound as bad as I thought.
Well, I just want to know who's paying for what. There's loads of Vegas.
We were all paying for that together, so Megan needs to give you money for that too.
And then there's... and then there's a Kickstarter, then another Kickstarter, then another Kickstarter, and I don't know what's what.
Right, let's have a look at the Kickstarter account in a minute then. If you give me a second. Yeah, this is where my terrible Kickstarter habit comes in. I'll have a look if you give me 1 minute, Lindsay.
Yeah, no worries. I don't like asking you while you're streaming, it's just...
Right, okay, I'll stop at this point and have a look for you. Right, let's have a look at my Kickstarter account.
I've got loads of Vegas 24.89, does that sound right?
Lords of Vegas. Yes, that's the we paid for the Kickstarter. I don't know if we've paid for that together. I mean, if we paid for the 24 quid is the right. Give me the dates.
30th of June.
30th of
I've got
June.
two on the 30th of June. On 30th of June, I've got Lords of Vegas, and then I've got Kickstarter for 64.50. Now I think that's high tea.
Yeah, high tea. That's split between us. And Lords of Vegas. That is literally the We've already done the Lords of Vegas main cost.
Yeah.
That's the shipping fees because they charge that separately. Because we got in a unified rule book, we paid for a
Shipping and extras.
shipping and extras. Yeah. And then the other one is going to be Alhambra Roll and Write. How much is that? How much did that come to?
27. Now there's two figures come out. There's a 20. Well, there was two separate things. The first thing with the fees is £27.50.
Yeah.
And the second thing with the fees is £2.96.
With the fees, £2.96.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what. Right, the £2.96. That's me. That's entirely me. So you need to take that off my money next month. That was a GURPS 2020 PDF challenge. It was.
I'm not going to charge you for £2.96.
No, do it. It was a $3 thing, and it was can they raise 45, I think it was, $1,000 to make 12 GURPS PDFs. And I was in there because it was a Dungeon Fantasy one.
Is Megan online still?
Sorry,
Is Megan there still?
Megan's still here. Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it just you and me for Alhambra, or is Megan?
Megan didn't fancy Alhambra Roll and Write.
So that's just you
Well,
and me.
I did fancy it. I just couldn't afford it.
Oh,
at the moment in time.
Megan did fancy it. She just couldn't afford it.
Right, so it's still just you and me.
So it's just you and me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is coming off my credit card. I'm fine with that. That's a paranoia thing because I love paranoia, but you two are just apparently too nice for it.
We
Right,
are.
so basically, Lords of Vegas and high tea, I will split it free with. Well, I'll ask Megan for one third.
Yep. Megan is paying for a third of Lords of Vegas and high tea.
Thank you.
We like our board games.
We do. Hence the massive sheet of games behind you.
Yeah. Do you want to know how many board games and expansions we have, Megan?
Does she really want to know?
If you added more since the 100 300 no 100 I was thinking 172, but that's how many bears my mum has.
Yeah, that's bear.
She's actually ordered 2 more, so that's gone up.
Right, so she's like bears as I am with board games. Right, this is my board game collection with expansions. So there's expansions in here. So these don't aren't full games. There's lots of expansions in there. Like there's some dice expansions, and they all go in there. But I have 957 board games and expansions. Some of these are promo cards, remember? So some of them are promo cards. I haven't included all the Munchkin promo cards because that would probably pop it over. Megan, I'm in touching distance of the Platinum Collector's Badge.
That's dangerous.
What?
That means you're going to go for it.
I will probably get there just with promos and expansions and stuff. Because there's like 2 expansions for... I think there's going to be 3 expansions, actually, for Munchkin Warhammer 40k that I haven't got yet. And one of them adds Sisters of Battle, so that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And the Tau. The other one adds Space Wolves. And I can't remember what the third one's going to add. I think it might be Tyranids. Munchkin, it's actually a really, really good game. If any of you guys out there like board games, yeah, okay, it's not the... Nemesis is a brilliant board game, if you've not said that already. Nemesis. I'm trying to think, which board game is Nemesis? There's a... Nemesis.
I can see a box art cover, but I can't remember the game itself.
Yeah, there's a lot of games out there. Board games, brilliant. There's a brilliant market for modern board games. But yeah, Munchkin, it's a great little killer. My BGG collection plus expansions and promos 403, says Michael Kipling. Nice. Yeah, mine's probably a bit crazy because I said I work in the industry, so I've got a lot of demo collection board games that are included in that. So, but they're added to my collection. Aliens Ripoff. Oh yeah, I know Nemesis. Yeah, I know what you mean now. Yeah. Aliens. That was a terrible, terrible board game. Well, not terrible. There was an Aliens miniatures style board game made by Prodos, and that was a disaster. I think it's the first Kickstarter I've seen where the creators of the Kickstarter reported themselves for violating intellectual property to get the campaign taken down because they wanted to get rid of all the negative comments. I know people. I mean, it's been years since that thingied, and I know people who who never got anything from it. It was shocking, that Kickstarter was. Absolutely shocking. I know people will defend them because some people got everything they wanted and some people did get their stuff, and that's fine, but every time I've seen Prodos at a show, it's been people shouting at them and asking, where's my stuff? Why is my money? Why have you ripped me off? And the number of complaints you'll see. And then what made it worse was, right, they released a second edition of the game before they had even shipped half the backers their game, their base game, at a completely different scale. Luckily, a nice company called Gale Force 9 now actually have the Aliens franchise. They're the same people who did the Firefly game.
No, that's a good game.
I like it. It's immersive. It really puts you in the universe.
It's long-winded. But you don't mind it being long-winded when you're playing.
It's a game that traditionally me and Lindsay often... Well, I didn't play this yet, mind. Because you can't sit down and play the game for the whole time in the way. Me and Lindsay will often at Christmas. And you know, one thing I need to do is get some business card holders to play this game. Because it's got so many decks.
Yes.
So many decks of cards. It's really immersive, but it's got so many decks of cards. It's kind of crazy. But me and Lindsay will just set up the game, drag the table into this back room, put the mat out because we've got a neoprene mat, not neoprene, a vinyl mat for it, and just play the whole game for like a whole day. I think one year we actually played the game for nearly 12 hours. But it's a really immersive game. It really puts you in that universe. You know, you're just going from place to place in the verse, picking up goods and doing the journey. Right, okay. I'm now going to do... I'm starting to think I might need the loo soon. Okay, right. I'm actually going to order my tea now. Because I need to keep eating.
Good.
Yeah,
You do?
need to keep eating. Right, I'm going to get a Chinese. We're getting a Chinese chicken. We're getting a Chinese because it's my favourite takeaway. Megan is very reluctant to get Chinese food because she...
I never know what's in it.
Right, okay.
So
None of the... Oh, none of...
you just take advantage of it and have your mushroom omelette or chicken omelette when I'm not there.
Yep. Is it Food Hub? It finds me annoying because the Chinese restaurants in Chester Street are really, really weird. Like they'll be online with it's not this one, is it? They'll be online on certain takeaway services for a little while, and then offline with most of them. And it's finding the right where they are. Right, New Treasure Express. That's a new one. That is a new one. Okay, they do their omelettes. I don't think I fancy a new one. I'm gonna be my usual self. I'm gonna go to the standard New Red Lantern. It's not as nice as Mayfair, but still a good one. chicken omelette with chips. I'll be telling them me peas. Didn't like me peas in there. I do like peas, but I just don't want peas in me. Don't want peas in me order. Right, and I'm gonna get some chop suey rolls. Chop suey rolls. Right, now I'm gonna hand the phone over to Lindsay. Lindsay, you alright? What's up?
Money's always stressful.
Money is always stressful.
Yeah.
Part of it's my fault because I should have been telling her to do a budget.
Well, usually when I'm there, we our usual ritual has been interrupted during the pandemic because we'll go to a coffee shop and have a coffee, and we'll do budgeting and other stuff on our iPad, like bullet journaling, and it'll be a really nice, relaxed time. But obviously that hasn't happened, and then I came here, so. What was that?
I managed to a pot of paint was knocked off my shelf.
Oh.
Must have been when I put the drawer in. It's knocked some stuff that's up there. I'm doing some leather now. Now my leather, I use a very simple scheme for my leather.
Yeah. Michael.
Just a second, Lindsay's calling me again. Yep. Okay. Lindsay's got a chicken and mushroom soup. No peas in the... Lindsay, you sure all you want is a chicken and mushroom soup? Why?
That's what I want.
I'm just going to be right back in a second. Okay, right, are we back? Okay, right. Here we are. Sorry about that. Ooh, I can hear myself somewhere.
Oh, that's not good.
Um, so yeah, I'm doing leather. I do a very simple leather. It is Steel Legion drab, washed with Agrax Earthshade, and then highlighted with Rakar Flesh. The plan right now is to get these done. Right. How you getting on with the land speeders, Megan?
I've just paused it and drive it because the sticking with the wheel.
Yep, they're a bit of a pain in the bum to...
Yeah, this sides are particularly difficult to run.
And of course, because you're doing Blood Angels, you've got some little Blood Angel symbols you can put on them. Yeah, the kit comes with Blood Angel symbols.
Oh, okay.
Also comes with Space Wars and Ultramarine symbols. Oh. Got a bit of feedback there.
Was it really because stripping on the table?
Ah. So that's that one done. So my aim right now, before I go for another comfort break, and I'll probably, yep, is to get this leather done down on all of these models.
How well are you doing?
Sorry?
How well are you doing?
How many hours am I in now? 11 hours in. Hard to say. I think I'm winning. I think I'm winning. I think I will get this done. The only thing that worries me about maybe I might not get done in time is basing. But I'm going to have to, at some point, pop the basing material on. I will at some point have to pop the basing material on so that I can... It's got time to dry. Yeah, so I'll get this leather all done so that we've got that bit done. I am confident I can get this done.
Good.
I am very confident I can get this done right now. Chris is going to join me for the night shift.
Oh, that's good.
I think he's with me until 1 in the morning.
Nice. Well, if I randomly wake up in the night, I will come down and join in.
No, you'd be more than welcome. What are you doing there, Megan?
I'm just trying to find the piece we need.
Ah,
The back of the land scooter.
the very old kit. Handmade. Megan, would you do me a favour?
Yeah?
Could you just turn the gain down ever so slightly on your sound interface?
Is that better?
That's much better.
Okay. Brilliant.
I was just picking up a lot of static from the background. And I think it was every time you were looking at your sprues, so... Yeah, land speeder sprue. It's a very old sprue. Literally, you know, designed by hand. So, you know... It's got a lot of issues, but... Well, not issues. It was amazing at the time. But it's not great by today's standards. Because... Today's sprues are much better, and I reckon they probably fit that onto one big sprue.
Probably, yeah.
Because obviously you've got a Dark Imperium sprue there with you, and you've got a and you've got the Land Raider sprues, and you can see all the wasted space, can't you?
You can. There's a lot of it there.
Yeah, because obviously you can't just shove the components all close together, because you've got to think about heat transference for when they're being molded. So that's why you've got to leave spaces in between them, and for the physical, you know, mold to fit. But obviously in the olden days they couldn't work it out. They didn't have computers to work out the tolerances and such. Right.
Yeah.
I have got this lever done. I'll check the Repentia, the Repentia Superior. I've just seen the cat run across the garden. No, she does. Oh, she has got a leather belt. So I'm just going to do her leather belt. And she's just gone and wandered in under Lindsay's legs. So I'm just going to get this belt done, and then I'm gonna head for a quick comfort break. Okay, so I will be right back.
Okay.
Are you laughing at me saying I'm not an insecure man?
Yeah.
I'm not, though. Yes? The cat insisted that Lindsay follow her outside to watch her play on the play on a blanket.
Aww. I miss the bunny.
That's what she does. Right, bit of Nile oil. I'm gonna get these levers washed. Now I'm going to wait a little bit for them to dry before. Actually, you know what? I should be able to start on the the gun casing actually. I should be able to start on the gun casing, I think. Right, so they're... Oh, they just need a little bit down here. So they're both washed. Yeah, our cat Bonnie, she is very, 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 you will follow me, you will, look after me, paint this wood as well.
She likes me to be outside with her when she goes out.
Typical, I've missed a little bit where I need to get the dark leather on this, so I'll just finish washing this wood, and then I'll... Oops. Knocked over a model. Grab myself some dryad bark. Just get in there. Get that. So I put that aside so it can dry. And then I can get it washed. Put this in the paint holder. Because otherwise I will drop it. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed that I will drop. I've already spilt a ton of airbrush cleaner today. It's because the lid is knackered. And I managed to miss a bit of the back of her gauntlet as well. There. You know what? At 9:30 we'll do another giveaway, shall we?
Yeah, sounds good.
We've done 7. We've got 20.
7.
Yep, we've done 7 giveaways. We've got 20 odd to do. So,
Oh,
you know, because we got loads of stuff. Got loads of stuff.
I'm sure you could give away more than that.
Probably, but I want that stuff. I'm giving away stuff. You know, you want me to give away more stuff.
Oh,
Oh, I'm hoping that it doesn't do what it did last time, because I got the winner of the 4th was the same as the winner of the 6th, and the winner of the, or was it the other way around? I'll get it for you. I'll bring up the thing. It was the winner of. Right, the winner. Basically, I've had four draws with 2 people. So 4th was the same as the 6th. The 5th was the same as the 7th. So Anthony, I think we are giving you the. You haven't confirmed whether you want it or not, but right now I'm giving you the. I'm giving you the Tomb Banshee, because you asked me to pick a model to convert to Dark Mechanicum. I will. If you don't answer back, that's what I'm going to give you, because I think the Tomb Banshee is definitely convertible to Dark Mechanicum. Right. So I'm going to double check. I'll double check the fundraising right now. We'll see who we got. We're still at 350, so we had no more tickets sold. Still pretty happy with that, mind. Some of you have donated. You know, you've been amazing. But we'll get you another draw shortly. 30:30. So I'll check again at 30:30. all of this money goes to the Willow Foundation. Well, I suppose some of it goes to payment processing fees for the company, but you know.
Michael, kitten's hunting my masks.
Sorry, Lindsay.
Kitten's hunting my masks.
Oh, she's my kitten, and I'm in trouble because she's hunting Lindsay's mask.
What's my mask for?
She's my kitten when she's naughty, but when she's good, she's Lindsay and Megan's kitten. Right, get the back of this leather done, and then I'll get the lighter leather done.
Yeah, when she's naughty, you found her. When she's good, you know, I found her.
She's a pretty good kitten, mind.
Pretty good kitten, my bum.
It's very sweet, very
Pretty
sweet
good
kitten.
kitten, my bum. She had this all over the table.
She had your Moomin mask all over the table.
Yes.
Well, as long as the table doesn't have COVID-19, it'll be fine.
Andrew Richardson's asking if I am still streaming, so I will go back to him and I will say,
Yes. Yes, you are.
yep.
You're doing a 24-hour thing. We're streaming for 24 hours.
I'll send him the link on Twitch.
Or close enough, anyway.
How do you share?
Streaming for 24 hours.
Oops. I'll send him the link on Twitch. Ah.
Or close enough, anyway. Michael,
how do you
occasional
share?
wife interruptions.
Oh, no, I've got the... Oops. I'll send him the link on Twitch. Ah.
Are we moving?
I've still got the flipping... iOS 14 is great because it's got the what you call it, picture in picture.
Oh, picture in the picture.
But when you accidentally open something and you don't want to watch it and you're like, get out of it, and then you're still watching it.
Yeah. No, go away.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I get rid of it? How do I get rid of it? I need to do a bit of his leather again.
Sorry, I'm just holding towels here.
I swear, that's going to happen to someone who is watching porn.
Porn. I knew you were going to say
Yeah.
porn.
It's going to happen in porn, in a work meeting.
Why would you be watching porn in a work meeting?
No, you're going to accidentally open to whatever your video you're playing, and you're gonna hear, moans.
Well, I'm going to say
Like
that
it did
person
in the
that
car.
if you were silly enough to leave your porn on your Safari browser or whatever, you deserve that. Keep your porn discreet, people.
Remind Lindsay of
So
the
that time
car incident.
you left your
Never.
porn indiscreet, and it came on the car.
No, she's remembered.
Michael? Do you remember that, Michael? When you had your porn on your phone, and you thought it wasn't on your phone, and you had your phone linked to the car, and the next thing that me and Megan hears is, and we were like, Michael, have you been watching porn? And you're like, no, of course not. And it was all X's on the track title, and we were like, that's porn. And to this day, you keep telling us it wasn't. And Michael, what are idiots?
We picked up a signal from someone else's car.
Bollocks! Michael, I wasn't born yesterday. I've seen plenty of porn in my life. I know what porn looks like.
Just got you there, dude.
Oh yeah. If you don't want to be embarrassed, you shouldn't have me in the room. Or in the house. Because then I can get into the room.
Or at all, Megan suggested.
What? At all? What? Just out of your life completely?
If I don't want to be embarrassed.
What? I shouldn't exist, or you shouldn't.
It was the
exist.
band Triple X Honest, says Anthony.
Oh, Anthony.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
what
that
it
he
was.
doesn't
That's what it
listen
was.
To that band. I've lived with this man for nigh on 19 years. I know his music taste.
You don't know you don't know Jack.
I don't know Yak. I know you sit down here and listen to Glee.
Oh, come on, who doesn't like a bit of Glee? Although that show, to be fair, is cursed.
I know you're partial to a bit of Girls Aloud.
Oh, come on, Girls Aloud are just an amazing girl band.
They are.
They're fantastic.
Hello, Bonnie.
And it doesn't help that they're not bad looking either.
I knew you were going to say that too, didn't you?
Hey, they're pleasant to look at.
It's almost like, hey, I know you. And I knew it was Paul.
They're a very pleasant band to look at.
He doesn't like it.
Especially Nicola Roberts. I'm very talented, actually, as well, to be fair. Anyway. Right,
You
so
don't like it when I'm right, do you?
I'm just not engaging with you at this point.
No, that's when I'm right.
I'm just not engaging with her at this point.
Because I'm right.
This is right.
Maybe.
What? Did you just say? Maybe.
Said maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. That's all you're getting out of me right now.
I'll take that as a yes.
Right.
Misty cat.
Right.
Next to her, next to her.
Let's get back over and have a look at the... do I magnetise my figures? Well, not these ones in particular. I do magnetise some stuff, but not a massive, great big deal of stuff. I don't really magnetise a lot.
He gets me to buy his magnets for him.
Yeah, she buys my magnets for me.
Yeah.
There's some stuff I do magnetise, but not a lot. I'm not really a big magnetizer.
Buy these magnets for me. I'll give you the money.
She's making me sound pathetic.
She really is.
Right, I'm going to paint the skin on this Penton engine, and I'm also at the same time going to base the flames. So I'm going to do them a very pale skin. One of the schemes I've used for the one of the schemes I've used for one of the sisters Repentia. So it's Wraithbone as the skin color, oh well as the base. Then 50-50 contrast medium and Guilliman flesh, and then layer up with flayed one flesh before highlighting with Wraithbone. Ah, there's a hair on the end. That's a cat hair. Yeah, while I went off for my comfort break, my cat, Bonnie, decided to walk over my desk.
Yeah.
It happened.
That indeed she did.
Jumbo and Cookie used to pretty much live on the desk.
Oh, yes, the cat we used to have, Cookie. He sadly passed away last year. That was very sad. We hadn't had him for very long. He was my nana's cat before he was ours. And we took him in because we said, we'll find him a new home. And he basically...
found him a new home, all right.
He found a new home. He basically adopted Megan.
Yeah.
He just sort of went, right, you're my human now, but I don't want you here. I can't have you here. We can't have a fourth cat. No, you're mine. And she didn't let him go. And he was cute. He was cute. He used to get in bed with her every night, practically every night.
Yeah.
He used to,
Teddy bear cuddle.
yeah, he used to get into her arms and insist on being hugged like a teddy bear.
Proper hugged, like proper like hugged.
Yep, that was him. He used to try and steal my pillow at night. He used to try and push me off my pillow.
Oh, Megan looks so happy that you're talking about the Cookie.
I do. He was a very nice, very handsome cat. Lovely boy. Really nice. Lovely. And yeah, he was, 16 and a bit years old?
Yeah.
When he passed away.
He would have been probably about 16 and a half nearly, because him and Misty were pretty much the same age.
Yeah, they were just like 8 weeks apart.
Yeah. And Cooks was amazing.
Yeah, Cookie was a nice cat, but unfortunately he had a stroke. There was
We
nothing we could do.
suspect it was.
Yeah, we think it was a stroke.
It seemed to, you know, what happened seemed to match all the
Yeah.
criterias.
It was very sad. But he used to climb on my desk and knock things off. Like,
Michael couldn't leave anything.
I couldn't leave anything on my desk because he'd have it off the desk. He'd chew up figures sometimes. I lost a Mark II tactical squad to him. Mark II. After they went out of print. Because he ate them.
You shouldn't have left it on the desk. Isn't that right, Megan?
My desk.
Yeah, shouldn't have left it on his desk.
Indoor outdoor cats. My cats are mostly indoors. They live indoors, but they do like to go outdoors. So we have the backyard set up so they can't escape. Well, they set up so they can't escape now. It never used to be. So they used to be able to wander around the neighborhood if they liked. But unfortunately, there have been reports over the past few months since we've been in lockdown that someone has been putting down antifreeze tainted stuff, which is really, really terrible.
Yeah.
We've got a police station. Literally, our backdoor neighbor is a police station, and they were like, yeah, you really need to start look, you know, keep being careful of your cat. So
Yeah.
friend Paul came round and he basically cat-proofed the
Paul.
the cat-proofed the outside. So you
Friend
can't.
Paul.
Yes, he's my friend.
He's my.
Yeah, I know, but anyway, he cat-proofed that, so now they can't escape the yard.
He means Lindsay's partner.
Yes, I do, but he's my friend. So
He's your friend.
he's
yes.
my friend. I'm talking about his relationship to me, not his
Fair.
relationship
Oh,
to you.
fair.
Stop making yourself the centre of the world.
Maybe I want to be.
Yeah,
Marisol there.
yeah, some maritals. Right, okay.
Sorry, what?
Megan said there's some maritals there. I want Mephiston Red. Did I get Mephiston Red down? No, I didn't.
Well, you're a sausage, ain't you?
Clearly.
Willem would tell you you're a silly sausage.
Probably. Willem's one of our nephews. So I'm doing the weapon casings in Mephiston Red.
Would you like to see Bonnie?
What is Bonnie doing?
I don't know. I'm going to go find her.
Is that the door?
Oh. I don't know, but there is a car outside, so it could be the door.
That might be my tea. So I might be going offline for about 20 minutes, half an hour while I have my tea, if that's alright, guys. Which is probably about the right pace of time. I think that was the door. You know, we spent a lot of money on a Ring doorbell because we have a big house. And you can't, and we were finding a lot of trouble with traditional doorbells.
Right, sir.
Sorry, Lindsay?
Your meal has arrived.
My meal has arrived. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just finish the red on this gun casing. Yeah, but we have very expensive Ring doorbells. Brilliant. But the number of times you get people who come to the door and they're like, don't use the doorbell. I think I'm going to have to get a sign made up to say, use the doorbell. Especially for the Hermes driver. Never uses that. Andrew Richardson. I just started watching. You can't him off for food. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, Andy. I will be back though. Gotta eat at some point.
Who's just started watching?
Andrew Richardson.
Aww. It won't be long.
I won't be long.
Yeah.
No, just as long as it takes for him to get on chicken omelette down the skull. That'll take 5 minutes. Anyway, he's got to eat.
Yeah. I figured you don't want to see me eat on stream. But I will be back. Do the cats bring in dead things? No. Misty, our eldest cat, when she used to get out, she doesn't really anymore. She used to bring us barbecue food in the summer. So she used to randomly turn up with a bit of sausage or a chicken leg, and stuff.
Cookie brought in dead things.
Cookie, he brought in one dead thing once, a bird that he then.
He ate it
No,
in
no,
front
no. It
of
wasn't
me.
dead when he brought it in, was it, Megan?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It
No.
was dead. And
He
then
brought it and he dropped it in
No,
this
no.
bowl.
It was dead when he brought it in.
Was
Lindsay.
it?
Yes, it
Okay.
was. He brought it into the house, took it to his food bowl, dropped it in his food bowl, and then meowed at us, and then took it outside and ate it.
No, crunched it in whole. What was left? The wing, Megan?
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Oh God, it was horrendous.
And then one time I saw him. We had the kitchen window. He was sat at the kitchen window looking outside, and a little bird. I think it was I think from the description, Lindsay reckons it was a finch or something. Just sat on the bin, and Cookie just leapt at it. And before he hit the ground, that bird was in his mouth and consumed. Anyway, right, I'm going to head off, have my dinner. I will be back later, about 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go have an omelette, slather it in soy sauce, and I'll be right back.